Our finances are a major concern for 2020 with all the pandemic-related uncertainty the past few months. Here to give us her insight into this fiscal year is founder and president of Empyrean Wealth Management, Kimberly Foss. Welcome back to the show, Kimberly.
Good morning. Thanks so much.
Well, let's get right into it. Has the government done anything to ease income tax requirements during the COVID-19 pandemic?
Yeah, of course, Aubrey. So they increased the extension of filing your tax returns to July 15th and also your estimates as well. So, it's a lot of people, as we talked earlier, a lot of people have already filed their tax returns because they wanted to be in to get their stimulus, right? But if you haven't filed, you have until the 15th. And so just check with your CPA, though, about when your estimates are due. But typically, those are going to be the April 15th and the June 15th is going to be due July 15th.
And you say July 15th. Do you think taxpayers are going to get even more time added to those extension requests this year?
No, the government needs, come on. We just printed like $4 trillion worth of money, Aubrey. We have to get that income tax in to pay that back, right? So there's no more extensions. You can probably file an extension, right? Which is typically normal that you can do from on July 15th to October 15th. But that's the normal time that you would have anyway.
All right. So you can't keep pushing it back. You got to get it done.
No. Get it done.
Yeah. And can people still apply for money for their business if we're talking about the payroll protection program? That question keeps coming up, too.
Sure. Absolutely. There's about $100 billion left. And so I would say if you haven't applied, go in, apply. Because the worst case scenario, Aubrey, is this: is like, okay, so if you applied and it didn't, you didn't get forgiveness, it is a 1% loan that yes, you need to pay back, but it gets 6 months before you pay it back, and you can pay it back over the next 2 years. So that's the worst case scenario. And if you haven't, go and apply. Also, I know there's talk in Washington right now, especially like for restaurants and bars, bringing the employees back. The payback period is only 8 weeks. They're looking to extend that 8-week period. So that would be a real huge help for companies like restaurants and bars. So we'll cross our fingers on that one.
Well, that's good news for businesses that still need a little bit of help. Sure. Here's another question that has come in. I'm retired with a secure income, but I'm worried about my grandkids who have student loans. Does the CARES Act offer them any relief?
Sure, and that's a great grandparents, that was really nice of them.
Yes.
Yes, I mean, they can go in and pay it off, right? Give them a gift and pay off the student loan.
That would be a great gift.
That would be, right? But yeah, the CARES Act did, and it does. It allows any federal student loans to be basically do not have to pay anything back until September 30th of this year. And the interest on that loan is at 0. So it's not accruing any interest between, basically, I think it was March 15th through September 30th. So you can check with your student loans on that, but really you pretty much have forgiveness with that. Going to especially help those graduates, that just graduated and now they're looking for jobs. Kind of a difficult time to look for a job right now.
Yeah, we talk about jobs. From your perspective, what is the outlook right now for the economy?
I think it's even better. I mean, the market is up over 25,000 as we speak, Aubrey, which is great. And that's on the news that basically 48 out of the 50 states have some type of reopening happening. I look at it like this way. This is a great big water wheel, right? Our economy, right? And it was going at a pretty good pace before COVID. COVID is like a cog that got pushed into the wheels, right? And it absolutely stopped the whole economy in its tracks, right? So now that cog's slowly coming out, the water wheel's beginning to run again, and we will probably get back up to speed. I'm hoping to see a positive GDP by the end of this year. Right now, they're looking at a 34 to 40% negative GDP, but as we get people back into the economy, people working, that water wheel starts going quickly again. I do think that we probably will see a positive GDP by the end of the year.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that one. Here's another question from a retiree. Yep. They say, I'm retired, but I don't really need the income from my IRA since I'm cutting back on expenses this year. I took my RMD, but is there any way I can just give it back since RMDs aren't required this year?
Great question. Yes, there is a way. If you've taken it in the last 60 days, you can repay that back without any penalties. I would suggest you get help from a CFP or your CPA. Make sure you do that the correct way. You just don't want to have a red flag on the IRS down the road because that RMD has a major penalty if something happens with that. So just go back, check with that. But you can, in the last 60 days, if you've taken it, you can pay that back, and no harm, no foul.
Kimberly Foss, you always have such great insight and information when it comes to navigating this pandemic and just with our finances and money overall. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks so much, and have a great day.
You too.
This interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.